The other thing that came through, which was sort of interesting, was around remembering, and I actually just had this conversation with someone, remembering that yes, you are thankful for the opportunities that you've had in an organization, but don't hold on to those longer than you need to. So you just
Mm.
mentioned, right? Like it's hard to leave your team. Yes, it's hard to leave a team sometimes, but if it's right for you to make the move, make the move. The right people will stay in your life past working with them, and other people won't. And that's okay too.
No, I love that. And that's unfortunately the part of growth that hurts a little
Yeah.
bit or is like the friction point or that will give you pause. But it's kind of a unnecessary evil of evolving and growing into ultimately what you want to be.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. So the two in this category that kind of stood out to us is for you mentioned that being radically authentic in every interaction, which came from one of our guests, spoke to you. Why did that connect with you?
Yeah, I think just the idea of being authentic, being genuine is such a valuable thing as you sort of embrace the idea of making a career change. First off, thinking through like what really resonates with you from like a really authentic place, going through the process of meditating on that and coming up with the ideas of where do I want to land as far as like company mission values types of products, just coming from an authentic place is so important in that very first step of the process. And then as you carry it with you through making that career change, it comes through in your interviews, it comes through in your interactions at work. Like the more that you can be authentic and come from a genuine place, it may be tough in some circumstances, but it's always going to land you in the place that you're supposed to be in. So I just love that idea. At being a recruiter, like it I can tell when someone's being really authentic with me and coming from a place of um genuineness, and it's just like this is somebody that like everybody's got to talk to because they're really excited about what we're doing. But if you're not authentic with yourself in the beginning of that process, it's going to hinder you along the way. So I really like that.
Yeah, well, and I mean, you've talked a lot about on this podcast and with our clients around the importance of knowing why you want to talk to that company, whether that's in their cover letter, whether that's in their interview, even just who to target to begin with, because that comes through in the conversations. And anyone can work anywhere, but you as a recruiter will often lean towards that energy of, oh, they really want to be here only if it's authentic and they have to authentically want to be there for a reason. So there's a personal story. They believe in the mission for some reason besides the obvious. And that really gets people excited to want to work with that person.
You're not only filling a position for somebody that can do the job, but like for every person that you're hiring. And this varies from size of company, but from my experiences, like each hire is you're adding to the culture and you're either giving to it or you're taking away from that. And the goal is you're hopefully giving to it. So that's always something that I'm hypersensitive to when I'm internal and recruiting for a company. And like the more that you can come from that authentic place, it's going to be contagious throughout that process for you.
Yeah. And I forget where I heard this, but I just heard someone talking about if you're not authentic in the interview, how exhausting it will be when you then have to show up as that inauthentic person again. Like if you
Hmm.
get the job, every day, are you going to be the version you shared during the interview? Are you going to surprise them with your authentic self? And what if it doesn't go well? Like it doesn't set you up for success if you're not authentic during the process.
Yeah, it certainly makes imposter syndrome even
Yeah.
worse too.
Yeah.
That is probably not part of the imposter syndrome that
Yeah.
you want to embrace. But
Yeah.
yeah, it is really exhausting because then it's just like, hey, I got to do this for the next 2 to 3 years. So again, like if you can come from that place and have it be your guiding light, you'll probably land in a place where that will flourish and
Yeah.
it'll be something that you can just lean into as opposed to forcing.
One piece of advice that I would tell my former self, who was making a career change from a 911 dispatcher to an HR professional, would be to lose the thought that you do not have enough experience. Now, why do I say that? Because during my journey, I was followed around by this thought like a shadow. It followed me into networking calls, into messages on LinkedIn to people, and interviews. And what it really did was make me play small and think small about myself. And when you're not able to really see the true value and skills and experience that you do have, it is very hard for others to see that as well. So I would give myself the advice to lose that thought. And how I would do that is by really writing down everything that I had accomplished and that had made an impact in other positions and why. And really remembering that those things mattered, my experience matters, and I bring a unique skill set to this new career that I'm trying to go into. And I hope that that would help somebody else not play small and think small about themselves, because we don't have to do that. We are worthy, our skills are worthy, and our experience matters.